at 8, runway 27, matrix 187, line up and wait runway 27.
Line up and wait runway 27, matrix 187.
Echo Charlie Mike Alpha X-ray, contact Melbourne departure on 118.9.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 27, Qantas 435.
Runway 27.
Contacting Melbourne departure on 118.9. Echo Charlie Mike Alpha X-ray.
Melbourne Tower, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, ready for departure at runway 27, departing north.
Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, hold short of runway 27.
Holding short runway 27, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November.
Melbourne Tower, Turkish 077 Heavy, ready for departure at runway 27, remaining in the pattern. Melbourne Tower, Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, ready for departure at runway 27, departing north.
Turkish 077 Heavy, hold short of runway 27.
Holding short runway 27, Turkish 077.
Matrix 187, wind 150 at 8,
On runway
runway
27.
27, cleared for takeoff. Alpha 6 Mike,
Cleared for takeoff, runway 27, matrix 187.
Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, hold short of runway 27.
Holding short runway 27, Air India 001 Charlie Romeo.
Melbourne Tower, velocity 117, ready for departure in sequence at runway 27, departing north. Qantas 435, contact Melbourne departure on 118.9.
Contacting Melbourne departure on 118.9, Qantas 435.
Velocity 117, hold short of runway 27. Holding short runway 27, velocity 117.
Flaps 5 degrees. V2. Flaps 2 degrees. Flaps 1 degrees.
Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, wind 150 at 8, runway 27, cleared for takeoff. Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, line up and wait runway 27.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 27, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November.
Line up and wait runway 27, Air India 001 Charlie Romeo. Melbourne Tower, velocity 1302, ready for departure in sequence at runway 27, departing straight out.
Melbourne Tower, Victor Hotel Sierra Yankee Delta, ready for departure at runway 27, departing straight out.
Velocity 1302, hold short of runway 27. Victor Hotel Sierra Yankee Delta, hold short of runway 27.
Holding short runway 27, velocity 1302.
Matrix 187, contact Melbourne departure on 118.
Contacting Melbourne departure on 118.9. Melbourne departure, matrix 187, with you at 5,900.
Matrix 187, radar contact.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated in case we encounter turbulence.
Melbourne departure, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, with you at 2,300.
Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, radar contact. 001 Charlie Romeo is 3 nautical miles west of Melbourne International at 1,800 feet, requesting flight following to Sydney Kingsford. Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, proceed on course to Sydney Kingsford. Echo Charlie Mike Alpha X-Ray, frequency change approved, good day. Proceed on course, Air India 001 Charlie Romeo. Frequency change approved Echo Charlie Mike Alpha X-Ray, good day. Qantas 435, frequency change approved, good day. Frequency change approved Qantas 435, good day. Contacting IOS monitor on 133.905, Echo Charlie Mike Alpha X-Ray.
Stand by, Matrix 187.
Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Super, contact IOS monitor on 133.905. Emirates 412 Super, turn left heading 340. Contacting IOS monitor on 133.905, Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Super. Matrix 187, descend and maintain 6000. Velocity 117, descend and maintain 7000. Qantas 435, descend and maintain 10,000.
Descend and maintain 6000, Matrix 187.
Descend and maintain 7000, velocity 117.
Descend and maintain 10,000, Qantas 435. Alpha 6 Mark Lima November, descend and maintain 7000.
Descend and maintain 7000, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November.
Velocity 117, reduce speed to 220 knots. Emirates 412 Super, contact IOS monitor on 133.905.
Reduce speed to 220 knots, velocity 117.
Velocity 913, requesting descent to 7000. Velocity 6556 heavy, descend and maintain 6000. Descend and maintain 6000, velocity 6556 heavy. Velocity 913, continuous files, expect the RAAS approach runway 16 left at Sydney Kingsford. Matrix 187, please expedite altitude change. Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, requesting descent to 10,000. Turkish 077 heavy, expect vectors to the RAAS approach runway 16 right at Sydney Kingsford. Roger, Turkish 077 heavy. Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, turn left heading 340, descend and maintain 8000. Velocity 9. Matrix 187, turn left heading 040, turn left heading 340, descend and maintain 8.
Turn left heading 040, Matrix 187.
Velocity 6556 heavy, contact IOS monitor on 133.905. Contacting IOS monitor on... Contacting IOS monitor on 133.905, Turkish 077 heavy. Golf Hotel Echo November Sierra, continuous files, expect the RAAS approach runway 16 right at Sydney Kingsford. Velocity 913. Matrix 187, contact IOS monitor on 133.905.
Contacting IOS monitor on 133.905. IOS monitor, Matrix 187, with you at 6000.
Descend and maintain 5000, maintain 5000 until established on the localizer, clear IOS runway 16 right, velocity 6556 heavy.
Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Super, turn right heading 150. CG 915, turn left heading 250, descend and maintain 2. Matrix 187, radar contact, say approach request.
Roger, Qantas 43.
Matrix 187 is 2 nautical miles north of Sydney Kingsford at 6000 feet, requesting IOS approach runway 16 left at Sydney Kingsford.
Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Super, I'm sorry. Fiji 915, turn left heading 190, descendant maintain 2000 until Matrix 187, expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 16 left.
Roger, Matrix 187.
Qantas 435, turn left heading 320, descendant maintain 3000. Matrix 187, turn left heading 010, descendant maintain 5000. Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Scooter, turn right heading 250.
Turn right heading 250, Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet.
Turn left heading 010, descendant maintain 5000, Matrix 187.
Turn left heading 320, descendant maintain 3000, Qantas 435.
Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Scooter, turn right heading 190.
Velocity 913, request frequency change.
Frequency change approved. Qantas 207 Heavy, good day.
Turn right heading 190, Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Super.
Echo Charlie Mike Alpha X-Ray, thank you, good day. Echo Charlie Mike Alpha X-Ray, contact Sydney Kingsford Tower on 124.7.
Contacting Sydney Kingsford Tower on 124.7, Echo Charlie Mike Alpha X-Ray.
Velocity 913, continuous files, expect the Isles approach runway 16 left of Sydney Kingsford. Turkish 077 Heavy, expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 16 right of Sydney Kingsford.
Roger, velocity 913. Roger, Turkish 077 Heavy.
Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Scooter, disregard last message. Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Scooter, turn right heading 300, climb and maintain 4000.
Turn right heading 300, climb and maintain 4000, Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Scooter.
Velocity 6556 Heavy, thank you, good day.
Isles monitor, Qantas 562 Super, with you at 900.
Velocity 6556 Heavy, contact Sydney Kingsford Tower on 124. Matrix 187, turn left heading 340.
Isles monitor, Qantas 4 Super, with you at 10,900. Turn left heading 340, Matrix 187.
Turn left heading 330, descend and maintain 4000, velocity 117.
Qantas 4 Super, radar contact.
Qantas 562 Super is 2 nautical miles south of Sydney Kingsford at 1,300 feet, requesting Isles approach any runway at Sydney Kingsford.
Qantas 207 Heavy is 9 nautical miles southeast of Wedderburn.
Matrix 187, reduce speed to 180 knots.
Emirates 618 flight of 8 is 15 nautical miles south of Sydney Kingsford at 9,000 feet.
Reduce speed to 180 knots. Matrix 187.
Descend and maintain 3000. Maintain 3000 until established on the localizer. Cleared Isles runway 16 left. Velocity 913.
Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 16 left of Sydney Kingsford. Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, expect vectors for the Isles approach runway 16 right of Sydney Kingsford.
Roger, Air India 001 Charlie Romeo.
Roger, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November.
Isles monitor, velocity 1092, with you at 900. Qantas 435, turn left heading 250, descend and maintain 2000. Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Scooter, make a left 360. Fiji 9, Matrix 187, descend and maintain 3000. Contacting Sydney Kingsford Tower on 124.7, Fiji 915. Velocity 11.
Descend and maintain 3000, Matrix 187.
Emirates 618 flight of 8, frequency change approved, good day. Velocity 1092, radar contact. Velocity 1092, frequency change approved, good day. Frequency change approved, velocity 1092, good day. Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, turn left heading 040, descend and maintain 6000. Qantas 435, turn left heading 190, descend and maintain 2000 until established on the localizer, cleared Isles runway 16 left approach.
Turn left heading 040, descend and maintain 6000, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November.
Turkish 077 Heavy, turn right heading 120, descend and maintain 4000 until established on the localizer, cleared Isles runway 16 right approach. Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, turn right heading 060, descend and maintain 5000.
Turn right heading 060, descend and maintain 5000, Air India 001 Charlie Romeo. Turn right heading 120.
Matrix 187, turn left heading 240, descend and maintain 2000. Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, turn left heading 350.
Contacting Sydney Direct on 126.1, Qantas 562 Super.
Turn left heading 35. Turn left heading 240, descend and maintain 2000, Matrix 187.
Qantas 207 Heavy, frequency change approved, good day.
New Zealand 5150 Heavy is 2 nautical miles northwest of Sydney Kingsford at 9,400 feet. Requesting rails approach runway 16 right at Sydney Kingsford.
South, Matrix 187, turn left heading 190, descend and maintain 2000 until established on the localizer, cleared aisles runway 16 left approach. Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, descend and maintain.
Turn left heading 190, descend and maintain 2000, maintain 2000 until established on the localizer, cleared aisles runway 16 left, Matrix 187. Velocity 37 Bravo is 13 nautical miles southwest of Richmond, NSW, at 11,600 feet, requesting rails approach runway 16 left at Sydney Kingsford.
Velocity 37 Bravo, continuous aisles, expect the aisles approach runway 16 right at Sydney Kingsford. New Zealand 5150 Heavy, turn left heading 010, descend and maintain 5,000.
Qantas 207 Heavy is 3 nautical miles west of Mittagong at 24,600 feet, requesting rails approach runway 16 at Melbourne International. Velocity 37 Bravo, disregard last message.
Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, turn right heading 120, descend and maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer, cleared aisles runway 16 right approach.
Velocity 37 Bravo is 11 nautical miles southwest of Richmond, NSW, at 11,000 feet, requesting rails approach runway 16 left at Sydney Kingsford.
Golf Hotel Echo November Sierra, continuous aisles, expect the aisles approach runway 16 right at Sydney Kingsford. Roger, Golf Hotel Echo November Sierra.
Frequency change approved Qantas 207 Heavy, good day. Turn left heading 330, descend and maintain 3000, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November.
Sydney Kingsford Tower. Velocity 117. Inbound on the ILS runway 16 left.
Sydney Kingsford Tower, velocity 816, ready for departure at runway 16 left, departing south. Velocity 913, when able turn right and contact ground, please expedite, traffic on final. Sydney Kingsford Tower, Shamrock 164 Super, ready for departure in sequence at runway 16 right, remaining in the pattern. Wilco, velocity 913. Shamrock 164 Super, hold short of runway 16 right. Sydney Kingsford Tower, Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, in Matrix 187, you're in an active airspace, please contact Sydney Kingsford Tower on 124.7, number 2.
Going around, Matrix 187. Sydney Kingsford Tower, Matrix 187, inbound on the ILS runway 16 left with information Juliet.
Matrix 187, wind 180 at 10, number 1.
Number 1, cleared to land, runway 16 left, Matrix 187.
Flight attendants, prepare for landing, please.
Shamrock 164 Super, line up and wait runway 16 right. Line up and wait runway 16 right, Shamrock 164 Super. Qantas 435, when able turn right and contact ground, please expedite, traffic on final. Turkish 077 Heavy, exit runway when able and contact ground, please expedite.
Sydney Kingsford Tower, velocity 653 Victor Alpha, ready for departure at runway 16 right, departing east.
Velocity 653 Victor Alpha, hold short of runway 16 right.
Wilco, Turkish 077 Heavy.
Holding short runway 16 right, velocity 653 Victor Alpha.
Wilco, Qantas 435.
CG 915, requests permission to cross runway 16 right.
CG 915, hold short of runway 16 right.
Holding short runway 16 right, CG 915.
Velocity 117, wind 180 at 10, number 2, runway 16 left, cleared to land.
Number 2, cleared to land, runway 16 left, velocity 117.
Shamrock 164 Super, wind 180 at 10, runway 16 right, cleared for takeoff. Cleared for takeoff, runway 16 right, Shamrock 164 Super.
Sydney Kingsford Tower, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, inbound on the ILS runway 16 left with information Juliet.
Alpha 6 Mike Lima November, wind 180 at 10, number 2, runway 16 left, cleared to land.
Number 2, cleared to land, runway 16 left, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November.
Landing spoilers extended.
Sydney Kingsford Tower, Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Super, inbound on the ILS runway 16 right.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Sydney Kingsford Tower, velocity 37 Bravo 16 nautical miles to the north at 5,000 feet, inbound for landing, requesting runway 16 right.
Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Super, wind 180 at 10, number 2, runway 16 right, cleared to land. Number 2, Shamrock 164.
Sydney Kingsford Ground, Matrix 187, request taxi to parking.
Sydney Kingsford Ground, velocity 803, ready to taxi to runway 16 right with information Juliet.
Matrix 187, taxi to parking, at your discretion.
Contacting Sydney Kingsford Ground on 126.5, Qantas 43.
Taxi to parking, Matrix 1.
Kingsford Ground, velocity 913, request taxi to Bay 40 at the Terminal 2.
Sydney Kingsford Ground, velocity 1139, ready for pushback with information Juliet, requesting runway 16 right.
Sydney Kingsford Ground, velocity 58, ready to taxi with information Juliet.
Qantas 435, taxi to Terminal 2 Bay 40, hold short of 725.
Taxi into Terminal 2 Bay 40, will hold short of 725, Qantas 435.
Velocity 58, taxi to runway 16 right, contact tower when ready. Sydney Kingsford Ground, Dragon 007 Heavy, ready for pushback with information Juliet.
Sydney Kingsford Ground, Air India 001 Charlie Romeo, request taxi to Bay 59 at the Terminal 2.
Sydney Kingsford Ground, CG 911, ready to taxi to runway 16 right with information Juliet.
Sydney Kingsford Ground, Golf Oscar 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 Delta, ready to taxi to runway 16 right with information Juliet.
Velocity 1139, pushback approved, tail to the north.
Taxi into runway 16 right, velocity 58.
Pushback approved, tail to the north, velocity 1139.
Taxi to runway 16 right, Golf Oscar 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 Delta. Pushback approved, tail to the south, Ethiopian
1915.
Pushback approved, tail to the north, Emirates 12 November Victor Heavy. Velocity 913, request permission to cross runway 25.
Velocity 913, cross runway 25.
Crossing runway 25, velocity 913. Crossing runway 25, Air India 001 Charlie Romeo.
CG 911, taxi to runway 16 right, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 16 right, CG 911. Sydney Kingsford Ground, velocity 1139, ready to taxi with information Juliet. Attention all aircraft, please stand by, controller changes in progress.
Sydney Kingsford Ground, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November.
Sydney Kingsford Ground, Qantas 215 Heavy, ready to taxi with information Juliet. Thank you, good day, CG 911. Sydney Kingsford traffic, Qantas 215 Heavy, taxiing to runway 16 right. Sydney Kingsford traffic, Dragon 007 Heavy, taxiing to runway 16 right.
Sydney Kingsford Tower, velocity 875, inbound on the ILS runway 16 left with information Delta. Blue Angel 118 Juliet Alpha Heavy, Say intentions.
Sydney Kingsford Tower, Golf Hotel Echo November Sierra, inbound on the ILS runway 16 right.
Qantas 562 Super, wind 180 at 10, number 2, run.
Matrix 187, request permission to cross runway 25.
Sydney Kingsford Tower, Eva 3, inbound on the ILS runway 16 right. Qantas 215 Heavy, hold short of runway 16 right.
Holding short runway 16 right,
Matrix 187, contact Sydney Kingsford ground on 126.5.
Sydney Kingsford ground, Golf.
Matrix 187, request permission to cross runway 25.
Thank you, Air India 001 Charlie Romeo.
Taxi to runway 16 right, Dragon 007 Heavy.
Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Super, cross runway 25, please expedite. Sydney Kingsford ground, Turkish fix 84, ready for pushback, requesting runway 25.
Sydney Kingsford ground, Victor Hotel Sierra Yankee Delta, ready for pushback.
Crossing runway 25, Emirates 3 Hotel Juliet Super.
Matrix 187, request permission to cross runway 25.
Sydney Kingsford traffic, velocity 1139, taxiing to runway 16 right.
Sydney Kingsford traffic, Matrix 187, crossing runway 25.
Sydney Kingsford traffic, Turkish fix 84, taxi into runway 25. Velocity 803, hold short of runway 16 right. Holding short runway 16 right, velocity 803. Velocity 117, contact Sydney Kingsford ground on 126.5. Alpha 6 Mark Lima November, contact Sydney Kingsford ground on 126.5.
Contacting Sydney Kingsford ground on 126.5, velocity 117.
Eagle 04, frequency change approved, good day.
Contacting Sydney Kingsford ground on 126.5, Alpha 6 Mike Lima November.
Frequency change approved Eagle 04, good day. Sydney Kingsford Tower, Turkish fix 84, ready for departure in sequence at runway 25, departing north. Sydney Kingsford Tower, velocity 688, inbound on the ILS runway 16 left. Turkish fix 84, hold position. Turkish fix 84, contact Sydney Kingsford ground on 126.5. Contacting Sydney Kingsford ground on 126.5, Turkish fix 84. Victor Hotel Sierra Yankee Delta, contact Sydney Kingsford ground on 126.5. Qantas 008 India Golf, hold position. Qantas 008 India Golf, contact Sydney Kingsford ground on 126.5. Sydney Kingsford Tower, Air China 265, inbound on the ILS runway 16 right. Velocity 803, line up and wait runway 16 right. Qantas 562 Super, exit runway when able and contact ground, please expedite. Line up and wait runway 16 right, velocity 803.